Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to Arapahoe High School. Game 3 on the road for your Dodge City A's, and the final game of the series between the A's and RoughRiders. The A's, well, they've already guaranteed themselves a series win as they lead the RoughRiders 3-1 in the series. Go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups. Leading off for the RoughRiders, the center fielder number 12, Cannon Frost. Batting second, it is shortstop number 12, Brett Atkinson. Batting third, right fielder number 7, Jake Willerup. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 24, Hunter Stevens. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 25, Matt Gahond. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 33, Aaron Kidd. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 26, Marco Polizzi. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 2, Andrew LaPerle. And rounding out the lineup, it is the second baseman, Merrick Shannon. Whitaker gets the start on the mound this afternoon for the RoughRiders. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for your Dodge City A's. You can see it on the live stream as well. Leading off, it is going to be the second baseman, number 6, Edward Gregory Jr. Batting second, the right fielder, number 24, Blake Coleman. Batting third, the third baseman, number 27, Matt Perez. Batting cleanup, catcher, number 16, Isaiah Velasco. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 10, Ryan Buckley. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 1, Edwin Silverio. Batting seventh, left fielder, number 13, Paxton Huff. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 19, Kane Carlos. And rounding out the lineup for your Dodge City A's, it is the center fielder, number 15, Jacoby Radcliffe. Nolan Huff is getting the start on the mound this afternoon for the Dodge City A's. We're going to take a step aside. We'll come back with our first pitch after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome in, and game 34 of the season between the A's and the Colorado RoughRiders. Like I said earlier, the A's, they've already guaranteed themselves a series win. They lead the series 3-1 over the RoughRiders. They won the series against the Game Day Angels last night. They won the series 3-2. They've also already won the series over the Denver Cougars. They won that series 4-1. So the A's are starting to wrap up their regular season. Just 3 more games left in league play. 2 more against the Liberal BJs and 1 against the Hayes Larks. There's a non-league game in there as well. The final 4 games of the season coming up after this. We're about ready to play baseball. We're on the campus of Arapahoe High School here in Colorado. The first pitch thrown down at 2:07 p.m. and it is in for strike number 1 to Edward Gregory Jr. Pitch misses low. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Edward Gregory Jr. He gets the leadoff here today for the Dodge City A's. Has been a staple at the top of the lineup for the A's. He'll get a leadoff hit as that goes out into left field, and the A's have their leadoff aboard. So that'll bring up Blake Coleman. Coleman takes a pitch for a ball. Pitches in and called strike. I believe it evens the count at 1. Pitch is grounded to the shortstop. They'll go to second for the out. They throw to first, and they get the double play. So now 2 away as the leadoff hit was erased for the Dodge City A's, and that brings up Matt Perez. Two and 1 the count to Perez. The pitch. Miss a little high and inside. Perez has to scoot back on that one. So after the A's, they got their leadoff aboard, but was erased after Coleman hit into a double play. The pitch called strike, and the count runs full. So we'll see a payoff pitch coming from Whitaker. Perez sends one out into center field. The second hit of the ball game. That'll bring in Isaiah Velasco. Velasco takes pitch. It's called strike. Gets him down in the count 0-1. Whitaker, he works from the first base side of the rubber. Comes set. Delivers a ball a little bit low and evens a count at 1 to Velasco. Velasco taps that one. It's foul. So we'll go back to work in a 1-2 count. Velasco checks his swing. They'll appeal down. They say, yes, he did. So that will be the final out of the inning as he'll get caught looking. Well, actually, he was caught swinging. So that'll do it. We're headed to the bottom of the first. It is 0-0. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in. Cannon Frost gets the leadoff for the RoughRiders. Fouls off the first pitch he sees from Nolan Huff. Huff was actually on the mound last night to close out the ball game. Frost grounds one to Kane Carlos, and he'll not be able to make the throw as he can't get it out of his glove. The RoughRiders have their leadoff aboard. Brett Atkinson steps up. He'll take the first pitch. He fouls it off. So much like the A's, the RoughRiders, they got their lead off a board, and Atkinson sends one out into center field. So that'll put runners on first and second for the RoughRiders. That'll bring in Jake Willerup. He'll step up with 2 on and nobody out. Pitch high and inside. Ball 1 to Willerup. Willerup fouls that one off. It'll go back and out of play. It evens a count at 1. Huff misses. Willerup's ahead in the count, 2-1. He'll pop one up. It's playable. It's being tracked by Coleman in right field. He'll pull it down. The runners tag up. The runner at first, but Atkinson, started to tag up but didn't. That puts runners on the corners with 1 away. So that'll bring up Hunter Stevens. 1 away for the RoughRiders. He takes a pitch low. Moves ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Runner starts to go. Stevens sends a high fly ball. It's out to center field. Radcliffe will pull it down for the out, but it'll score a run, so the RoughRiders will trade an out for a run, and they take an early 1-0 lead. That brings in the catcher, Gahan. Takes a pitch low. Pitch in for a strike. It evens the count at 1. The A's and the RoughRiders, they started early in the season. RoughRiders was actually the first true series that the A's played after a series of non-league games fielded by Huff, and they'll go to first for the out, so that'll end the inning. We are headed to the top of the second. The A's will have Buckley, Silverio, and Huff due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the second, the A's trail the RoughRiders now 1-0. Will be Ryan Buckley who leads off for the Dodge City A's here in the top of the second. Whitaker back on the mound for the RoughRiders in the first pitch in, and he will hit Buckley. The A's, they have their leadoff aboard. Something that we've talked about throughout the season is making sure that the A's can get their leadoff on. That'll bring in Edwin Silverio. So it's 5, 6, and 7 due up in the inning for the Dodge City A's. Silverio takes a pitch for a ball. He's ahead in the count 1-0. The A's and RoughRiders, they played here at Arapahoe High School last year. It was the last game of the series in Colorado. Pitch was in for a strike. It evens a count at 1. The only difference is last year when the A's played here, there's water standing about everywhere around the field. Pitch was fouled off. Silverio's down in the count 1-2. Pitch is popped up. It's headed out into foul territory, and it will fall out of play. Count will remain 1-2 to Silverio. Pitch fouled off again. It goes back and out of play. Silverio, he'll check his swing. Count evens itself at 2. So the A's and RoughRiders, they started their series back on June the 12th. It was Sam Fisher that got the start in that first game against Jace Gifford, and they say Silverio Silverio went around on the strikeout. Brings up Paxton Huff with runner on second now and 1 away. Huff takes the first pitch he sees. He'll send it out towards right field, making the diving catch and doubling off Buckley. That will end the inning, and we're headed to the bottom of the second. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Come back in to game 34 of the season. Bottom of the second. Kid Polizzi and LaPerle will be due up in the inning for the RoughRiders. They already have a 1-0 lead, and Kid, he'll fall down in the count 0-1 as he takes a first pitch strike from Nolan Huff. Huff out for his second inning of work. Fires in, gets a called strike, and Kid down in the count 0-2. Kid pops it up. It's playable. Blasco tossed the mask, and he'll pull it down in front of the A's dugout. Is the first out of the inning. So that'll bring in Marco Polizzi with one away, nobody on for the RoughRiders. So the A's, they opened the series back on June the 12th against the RoughRiders. They would win that first game 20-10. They dropped the second game in the series 11-9, but would flip the script the next day and win it 11-9 against the RoughRiders. Polizzi takes a first pitch strike and is down in the count 0-1. So the A's and RoughRiders, they played 4 games in Dodge City. Pitch was low, it's fouled. Polizzi is down in the count 0-2. The final game in Dodge City was a run rule victory in 7 for the Dodge City A's as they would top the RoughRiders 14-4. Pitch misses a little bit outside. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marco Polizzi. 1-2 offering. Huff will miss low and evens the count at 2. Polizzi makes contact. It's fielded by Carlos. The throw across the diamond. Pulls Buckley off the bag. So the first error of the game belongs to the Dodge City A's. So that will bring up Andrew LaPerle. He will take a first pitch ball that misses high. Huff will take a look over at first. Kicks and fires in. Gets LaPerle to swing and miss. Even the count at 1. Two and 1 the count now to LaPerle. The A's, if they can win one of at least the next 3 games, then they're pretty much guaranteed a second place finish in the league. LaPerle will come up empty on the swing, and he evens the count at 2. A second place finish in the league for the Dodge City A's, and that would wrap up the NBC bid as well. So the count runs full. 1 on and 1 away for the RoughRiders. We're in the bottom of the second. The RoughRiders lead it 1-0. LaPerle pops it up, giving chases Buckley. It's in foul territory, and it will drop foul. So LaPerle has a new lease on life. So we'll go back to work. Another 3-2 pitch coming from Huff. They'll throw over to first, but not in time. Huff loses the battle, and that puts runners on first and second. I'll bring up Merrick Shannon, the 9-hole hitter for the RoughRiders. So 2 on and 1 away. Pitch is fouled off. It goes back and out of play and evens a count at 1. Huff has thrown 30 pitches so far in the ball game. Pitch is grounded to the third baseman Perez. I'll throw to first for the out. So it puts runners in scoring position for the RoughRiders and turns the lineup over to Cannon Frost. Cannon Frost singled his last time up. They say he did not go around on the check swing. It's ahead in the count 1-0. Pitch catches the outer half of the plate. Evens a count at 1. The A's, they have Huff, Radcliffe, and Coleman left to right in the outfield. Huff will miss high and inside on that one, and Frost moves ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. A pitch, it's grounded to Kane Carlos. He'll throw across the diamond, making the catch for the final out of the inning, and we are headed to the top of the third. It is 1-0 RoughRiders. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Carlos, Radcliffe, and Gregory Jr. due up here in the top of the third. The A's, they trail at 1-0. Kane Carlos set to get his first at bat of the ball game. Whitaker back on the mound for the RoughRiders, and He'll deliver a strike to Carlos, down in the count 0-1. Carlos grounds that one. It's fielded by the third baseman. The throw across a diamond is an error as it pulls the first baseman Stevens off the bag. So LaPerle delivers it high, and the A's have their leadoff aboard. That brings up Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe shows bunt, lays it down, fielded by the pitcher. They'll go to second for the out. So the fielder's choice. And that'll turn the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr. with one on and one away. Runner goes. He's in safely. A 1-0 count to Edward Gregory Jr. The A's, they have a runner in scoring position now. Gregory Jr. takes the pitch high, moves ahead in the count. Fouls that one off. Gregory Jr. is still ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Swings and comes up empty, and that will even the count at 2. The A's and the RoughRiders. The A's actually trailed the RoughRiders back on June the 12th. They would hang 2 in the top of the first before the A's would respond. They scored 1 in the bottom of the second and then scored 7 and then never looked back. Count runs full as the pitch misses outside to Gregory Jr. So we'll see the payoff pitch from Whitaker. He'll draw the walk, and that puts runners on first and second for the Dodge City A's. Brings up Blake Coleman. Coleman, he grounded out his last time up. So 2 on and 1 away for the A's. Whitaker has thrown 33 pitches now. He'll miss low to Coleman. Radcliffe steals over to third. So that puts runners on the corners. The tying run just 90 feet away now. The 1-0 delivery. Coleman will send it foul. It goes out of play. That evens a count at 1. So the A's will return home tonight They go back on the road tomorrow against the Liberal BJs. Tomorrow and Saturday are games that are flipped as Coleman fouls that one off, and he'll fall down in the count 1-2. So tomorrow the A's, they'll travel to Liberal to take on the BJs in a league contest. And then they will finish the league series on Saturday at home against the Liberal BJs. The pitch, he makes contact, but it's out into center field. It'll be pulled down. They'll trade it out for a run, and the game is tied at 1. So that brings up Matt Perez now with 2 away. Perez, he singled his last time up. 1 on and 2 away now for the A's. It's a tie ball game. We're in the top of the 3rd. Perez takes the first pitch, pops it up. It's into foul territory. Tracking it is the first baseman, Stevens, and he'll pull it down in front of the A's dugout for the final out of the inning. We have a tie ball game. We're headed to the bottom of the 3rd. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Let's take this opportunity. We'll thank our Grand Slam sponsors, the City of Dodge City and Ford County, the Community Foundation of Southwest Kansas, Lewis Automotive Group, and Curbs Law Office, LLC. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. Nolan Huff, he goes back out for his 3rd inning of work. He was on the mound last night, closed out the game against the Game Day Angels for the Dodge City A's. The A's, they won that one 14-7. First pitch to Brett Atkinson leading off in the 3rd. This is low for ball 1. Huff fires in. He'll miss a little bit outside. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Atkinson will make contact. Sends it out into center field. The RoughRiders, they have their leadoff aboard. Well, he is down in the count 0-1 after he sent the first pitch foul from Huff. Pitch called strike. Willerup down in the count 0-2. One on and nobody out for the RoughRiders here in the bottom of the third. The pitch sent down the left field line, and it is fair. Getting the stop sign at third is Atkinson. That is a stand-up double for Willerup. So that brings up Hunter Stevens. He flew out his last time up. Stevens takes the first pitch. He'll foul it back and out of play. One pitch from Huff. Runners on second and third for the RoughRiders. Nobody out in the inning, and Stevens even in the count at 1. The A's, they don't have anybody in the bullpen, and the throw to first is wild. So another throwing error by Kane Carlos, and the RoughRiders have responded back and lead it 2-1. That brings up Matt Gahan. Kahan grounds that one. It's cut off. Nope. Will go out into left field, and the RoughRiders, they lead it 3-1. Max Slavin will be the courtesy runner for the RoughRiders. That'll bring up Aaron Kidd. Still nobody out in the inning. The RoughRiders, they've already scored 2. They have runners on first and second now. Kidd, he takes a fly ball out into left center field. It is pulled down for the first out of the inning. The runners will tag up. Both runners now in scoring position. One away for the RoughRiders. For Marco Polizzi, he got on an error his last time up. It was the throwing error by Kane Carlos that got him on. So he's had both errors in the ball game for the Dodge City A's. Grounds one down the left field line that goes foul, and he'll fall down in the count 0-1. A's trail the game 3-1 now. Pitch is a called strike. It has Polizzi down in the count 0-2. Pitch sent to the third baseman. They'll come back home, and they will get the out at home. So the fielder's choice, and that'll put runners on the corners. The RoughRiders, they have runners on the corners now and 2 away. That will bring up the third baseman, Andrew LaPerle. The RoughRiders trying to complete their second trip through the batting order. LaPerle, he drew the walk his last time up. Moves ahead in the count 1-0. Half now at 52 as LaPerle will foul that one back and out of play. He evens a count at 1. Bottom of the third, and the RoughRiders lead it 3-1 right now. The pitch. Missed somewhere. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is grounded to Edward Gregory Jr. They'll make the throw to first and complete the out. That will end the inning, and we are headed to the top of the fourth. The A's will have Velasco, Buckley, and Silverio due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back. Isaiah Velasco leads off for the Dodge City A's. He's ahead in the count 1-0. Velasco fouls that one off, and looks like the RoughRiders have made a pitching change. One out for, nope, never mind. It was a foul ball, and that one evens the count at 2 to Velasco. Grounds to the second baseman. They'll throw to first for the out, and that is the first out of the inning. So now that'll bring up Ryan Buckley with one away. Buckley pops the first pitch. It's out towards right field. Will fall foul. Quite a bit of foul territory here, this high school ballpark. Way more than what the A's are used to at home at Cavalier. So we'll go back to work. 0-1 count to Buckley. He was hit by pitch his last time up. A's working their second trip through the batting order. Buckley makes contact. He'll send it as it slices out into right center, rolls almost to the warning track. The throw in and diving in at second. Buckley in safely with the double. The third hit of the ball game for the Dodge City A's, and that brings up Edwin Silverio. Silverio, he went down on strikes his last time up. The A's, they have a runner on with one away. Silva delivers a strike. As Ryan Silva Valdez on the mound now for the RoughRiders. Pitches in for a strike, and he has Silverio down in the count 0-2. Silverio grounds it to the third baseman. I'll make the throw across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Buckley remains at second, and that will bring up Paxton Huff. Huff, he flew out into right field his last time up. Few high clouds starting to filter in overhead. Nice warm afternoon here at the ballpark. Pitch called strike and has Huff down in the count 0-1. Buckley out at second for the A's. They trail it 3-1. So we've worked our way into the top of the fourth. Valdez, he takes a long look in to get his signs and comes set. He'll look back at second, checking on Buckley. Huff fouls that one. The A's are just, they're not really making good sound contact right now. The 0-2 pitch from Valdez. Huff takes a ball that misses outside. He's down in the count 1-2 now. Valdez delivers high. And it would be deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard if there was one. Scoreboard on the fritz here today. 2-2 delivery coming up. Huff makes contact. He'll send it out towards right field. It was popped up, called for, and pulled in by the right fielder Willerup. That will end the inning, and we are headed to the bottom of the fourth. The RoughRiders lead it 3-1. Merrick Shannon leads off. He grounded out the last time he was up. Takes the first pitch he sees, sends it out into left field. Pulled down by Huff, so one pitch and one out for the RoughRiders in the bottom of the fourth. So that'll turn the lineup over. The RoughRiders, they start their third trip through the batting order now. Cannon Frost up at the plate. He grounded out his last time up. One away for the RoughRiders. Nolan Huff, he's back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. He'll deliver in for a called strike, and that has Frost down in the count 0-1. Frost fouls it off. It's to the right and out of play. And he's quickly down in the count 0-2. One and two the count. Huff, he'll kick and fire in. Frost sends that one down the line and foul. Count will remain 1-2. The A's have nobody in the bullpen, so we'll see how long they elect to try to go with Huff. He's at 60 pitches so far in the ball game. Pitch misses inside. So after falling down in the count 0-2, Frost has worked his way back. He evens it now at 2. That pitch called strike is the second out of the inning, and that will bring up Brett Atkinson. He's at 2 for 2. He singled both times he's been at the plate. Been a hard out for the A's here today. Pitch called strike. Gets Atkinson down in the count 0-1. Huff delivers. It's inside. Count even at 1 apiece now. Atkinson works himself ahead. 2 balls and 1 strike. The A's, I'd sure like to see the RoughRiders go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. They trail the game at 3-1. Pitch grounded to Kane Carlos. He bobbles it, picks it up, makes the throw to first in time, and that will end the inning. They indeed get the RoughRiders to go down 1-2-3. We're headed to the top of the 5th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in. So the A's, they have Carlos Radcliffe and Gregory Jr. due up as we've entered the top of the 5th here at Arapahoe High School. Pitch is in to Carlos for strike number 1. So the A's, they don't have anybody in the bullpen right now. Carlos, he'll take a ball that evens the count at 1. He's working to complete their second trip through the batting order. Carlos makes contact, grounded to the shortstop. He'll throw across, and that will be the first out of the inning. One away for the A's to bring up Jacoby Radcliffe. He hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. Radcliffe takes a pitch high and outside. Moves ahead in the count 1-0. One-0 delivery from Valdez. He'll miss low. Exit 2 balls and no strikes. The A's have one away and trail the RoughRiders 3-1. Radcliffe fouls that one. It goes to the warning track down past the bullpen area. He's ahead in the count 2-1. Radcliffe makes contact. It's a high fly ball out into left field, tracking it and pulling it down on the warning track. So that is the second out of the inning. I'll turn the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr. The A's are starting their third trip through the batting order. Edward Gregory Jr., he's batting .284 on the season. Comes up empty on the offering. Two and two the count. Gregory Jr. makes contact. He'll ground it to the shortstop. They'll throw to first, and that'll be the final out as the A's, they go down 1-2-3 in the top of the sixth. We're headed to the bottom of the sixth. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Jake Willerup set to lead off for the RoughRiders. Nolan Huff, he's back out for his sixth inning of work for the Dodge City A's. Still nobody in the A's bullpen. So we'll see how long they elect to let Huff go. First pitch misses high for ball one. Willer Appies ahead in the count, 2-0 now. He'll make contact and sends it out into center field, and yet again, the RoughRiders, they have their leadoff aboard. Hunter Stevens takes a called strike. Evens the count at 1. Stevens, he's 0 for 2. He got on an error his last time up. 1-1 is fouled off, and he'll fall down in the count, 1-2. Pitch. Throw over to first was not in time. Swung on and missed. Stevens will go down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Matt Gahan, who has 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. Huff has a 1-2 record on the mound. Delivers a strike to Gahan. Huff's making his 10th appearance for the Dodge City A's as a throw to first, not in time. Again, they throw back to first. The 0-1 fouled off. Goes towards the third base dugout. One on, one away for the RoughRiders. A snap throw down to first, not in time. Velasco tried to backpick Willerup down at first. One and two the count. Pitch missed low. Count even at 2. Gahan makes contact, will fly out to the left fielder, Huff. 2 away. So that'll bring up Aaron Kidd. He's 0 for 2. Flown out both times he's been at the plate. Huff's now at 78 pitches in the ball game. The pitch. And the back pick down to first. They got him. So that ends the inning, and we are headed to the top of the sixth. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Blake Coleman leads off, takes a first pitch strike. Sends a pitch foul and out of play. Quickly falls down in the count, 0-2. Coleman batting .341 on the season. Takes that pitch. It's a fly ball out into left field, but tracking it, pulling it down just ahead of the warning track in the first out of the inning. The A's, they just can't seem to find the gaps. That brings up Matt Perez. Perez, he's 1 for 2. He flew out his last time up. Takes a pitch for a strike. He's batting .300 on the season. He evens a count at 1. Perez, he'll come up empty. Falls down in the count, 1-2. One away for the A's. We're in the top of the sixth. They trail 3-1. Perez evens the count at 2 now. Two-two pitch. Perez makes contact and flies it to left field. Tracking it and pulling it down again is Polizzi, and that is the second out of the inning. Back-to-back flyouts to left. That brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco, he's 0 for 2, grounded out the last time he was up. Batting .319 on the season. Velasco makes contact, driven one over Shannon's head. He's digging for second, a diving stop, and he is in safely with a double. So that brings up Ryan Buckley. He doubled his last time up. So the A's with 2 away and 1 on. Buckley, he's been climbing the batting average. He's up to .229 on the season. He'll take the pitch from Valdez. He'll miss low for ball number 1. 1-0 pitch. Valdez takes a long look in. Get his sign and come set. Takes a look back at second to check on Velasco. Buckley makes contact, sends it into the right center gap. It drops in. Here comes Velasco on the run home, and he'll be in safely. The A's trail 3-2. RBI single for Ryan Buckley. That brings up Edwin Silverio. Silverio, he's 0 for 2. He grounded out his last time up. 2 away and 1 on for the Dodge City A's. Remember how we've talked about throughout the season, the A's, they like to do damage with 2 away. Silverio, he takes a pitch high and inside. He's batting .239 on the season. Buckley at first for the Dodge City A's. They've cut the lead to 1 for the RoughRiders, and Silverio, he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Valdez, he takes a look over at second. The pitch bounces ahead of home plate, and Silverio is ahead 3-0. He can be selective here. That doesn't necessarily have to come off of his shoulders unless it's something really good that he likes. A 3-0 pitch. Called strike. Pitch. Called strike again, and the count runs full. So after working ahead in the count 3-0, full count now to Silverio. We'll see the payoff pitch from Valdez. As a sign and delivers. Silverio makes contact. It's to the shortstop. They make the throw to first in time. That will end the inning. The A's, they get 1 run in. And we are headed to the bottom of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Bottom of the 6th, in the Rough Riders, they have Aaron Kidd leading off. Kidd is 0 for 2. He flew out his last time up. Nolan Huff, he's back out for his 6th inning of work. He's earned 79 pitches so far. No work in the A's bullpen yet. Pitch called strike. Huff misses inside. They'll even the count at 1. Kidd makes contact. Fielded by Carlos. The throw across the diamond in time. Gets the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Marco Polizzi. He's 0 for 2, hit into a fielder's choice the last time he was up. So Polizzi, an error in a fielder's choice has been his day at the plate. Pitch will miss inside from Huff. Polizzi works himself ahead 1-0. Thank all of our fans for following along as the A's complete day 3 on the road here in Colorado. Polizzi takes a ball low and is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody on and 1 away for the Rough Riders here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead the game 3-2 as that pitch is fouled off. Rough Riders 1 in the first, 2 in the third. The A's got their first run in the third, scored 1 in the 6th. One pitch was a strike that evens the count at 2. Count runs full. We'll see the payoff pitch from Huff. Swung on and missed. Polizzi will go down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That brings up Andrew LaPerle. He is 0 for 1. Grounded out the last time he was at the plate. First pitch, fouled off. Finds himself down in the count 0-1. Huff misses low. Evens the count. 1-1. It's a fly ball. It'll be played off the hop. The Rough Riders get 1 aboard. That was the 7th hit of the ball game for the Rough Riders. The A's have been out hit 7-5. That'll bring up Merrick Shannon. Shannon, he's 0 for 2. He flew out. Takes a pitch that misses low for ball 1. Huff gets Shannon to go fish and come up empty. Evens a count at 1. Waves off a couple of signs and has what he wants. 1-1, called strike. Get Shannon down in the count, 1-2. 1 on and 2 away for the RoughRiders. Again, Huff waving a couple off. Fires in, it's low. That moves the runner over to second. 2-2 delivery coming up. Looks like the A's might be going to Caden Stewart. Pitch misses again, and the count runs full. A payoff pitch from Huff will be spoiled and fouled off, and we'll do it over again. Count remains full to Shannon. The RoughRiders are trying to complete their third trip through the batting order. So Huff misses, and that will put runners on at first and second as Shannon draws the walk to turn the lineup over to Cannon Frost. He's 1 for 3. He got caught looking his last time up. The A's are going to have a mound visit. So I'll take this opportunity. Let's thank our home run sponsors, Cargill Meat Solutions, Lauren Dahl, I Don't Care Family Restaurant and Sports Bar, LLC, Parker Haskins Insurance Incorporated, TCBP LLC, Jimmy John's, the Victory Electric Cooperative Association Incorporated, and Forgone Financial LLC, Koch Fertilizer, Deriva Energy, Rabine Brothers, United Wireless Communications Incorporated, Dodge City Kenworth, and EDF Power Solutions. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So that mound visit's over, and we'll go back to work. Nolan Huff is going to stay on the mound for the Dodge City A's. He'll face off against Cannon Frost, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Yeah, RoughRiders starting their fourth trip through the batting order as Frost fouls off the first pitch he sees. RoughRiders, they've had base runners in every half inning except the third. As Perez, he comes ranging in. He'll pull it down in foul territory for the final out of the inning, and we're headed to the lower third of this ball game. Top of the seventh coming up. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Paxton Huff leading off here in the top of the 7th. Takes a pitch for a strike. Huff comes up empty on the offering from Valdez. He's quickly down in the count 0-2. Huff batting .221 on the season. Pitch from Valdez will miss outside. Makes the count 1-2. Huff sends that one. It's foul to the third base side. Count will remain 1-2. Valdez misses and evens the count at 2. The pitch misses again, and the count runs full. So after falling down 0-2, Huff has worked the count full. We'll see the payoff pitch. It misses, and the A's have their leadoff aboard here in the top of the 7th. They trail at 3-2. They've been out hit 7-5 by the RoughRiders. So that'll bring up Kane Carlos. Carlos, the 8-hole for the Dodge City A's. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out the last time he was up. RoughRiders have shifted their middle infield a little bit. They have their second baseman playing closer to the second base bag. Carlos shows bunt. It's up the line. They throw to second. Don't get the out. It's overthrown, and that'll move Huff over to third. So the fielder's choice, and it turns into a throwing error. So runners on the corners now with nobody out. And head coach Jeremiah McCollum, he wants to have a timeout and talk things over with his offense. That visit is over. We're going to go back to work. The A's, they have runners on the corners with nobody out. That brings up Jacoby Radcliffe. We're at the bottom of the order for the Dodge City A's. Radcliffe, he flew out his last time up. He shows bunt. Runner goes. The A's have both runners now in scoring position. This is where the A's are going to start trying to put pressure on the RoughRiders defense. Radcliffe ahead in the count 1-0. The pitch misses outside. Radcliffe moves ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The A's, they have Huff at third and Carlos at second. Nobody out in the inning. Radcliffe sends that one foul. It is up the first base line, headed towards the fence. Makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike to Jacoby Radcliffe. He hit into a fielder's choice the first time he was up. Radcliffe, he's batting .211 on the season. The pitch from Valdez, called strike. Radcliffe not happy with the call, but it is the first out of the inning. Turns the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out his last time up. Misses high, does Valdez. Gregory Jr. is ahead in the count 1-0. After getting a lead off of third, Valdez misses low to Edward Gregory Jr., and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Valdez, he comes set. He's thrown at 59 pitches, misses again, and well, Edward Gregory Jr., he's ahead 3-0. Can be selective here. Valdez has one base open. Pitches in, catches the zone. Exit 3-1. Valdez misses high, and Edward Gregory Jr., he draws the 5-pitch walk. It's going to bring up a mound visit from the RoughRiders. We're going to talk a few things over about if the ball goes here, where are we going to go with it? So the A's, they have bases loaded with one away for Blake Coleman. Coleman, he's 0 for 3. He flew out his last time up. There's one away for the A's. Blake Coleman steps up. Comes up with bases loaded. First pitch he sees is called a strike. Coleman makes contact, sends it out into center field. The runners are going to tag up, and it ties the game at 3. It was the second out of the inning, but it ties the game up, and we have a tie ball game now for Matt Perez. Runner goes, a throw down to second, not in time, and that scores a run. The A's have the lead. They have their first lead of the ball game. Perez makes contact. It's over the shortstop's head. It could score another run. Here comes the run home. The throw is high. It's in time, though. It's pulled down. Edward Gregory Jr. is thrown out at home. It ends the inning, so give Perez credit with a double. Actually, no. Perez gets a fielder's choice. As Edward Gregory Jr. is thrown out at home, but the A's, they have the lead. They lead at 4-3. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. The A's, they have their first lead of the ball game after King Carlos was able to steal home on a double steal. We have Brett Atkinson leading off here in the bottom of the seventh. The A's, they lead it 4-2 or 4-3 now. Atkinson's 2 for 3. He grounded out his last time up, and he hits a line drive right back at Edward Gregory Jr. as Caden Stewart has taken over the mound for the Dodge City A's. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's pretty efficient. The RoughRiders, they have 1 away. Brings up Jake Willerup. He's 2 for 3. He'll take a first pitch strike and falls down in the count 0-1. The pitch, again called strike. Willerup's down in the count 0-2. The pitch, just out of the reach of Edward Gregory Jr., so he'll be on with a single. A double and 2 singles now for Willerup. That'll bring up Hunter Stevens, who is 0 for 3. He went down on strikes his last time up. One on and 1 away for the RoughRiders. See, bottom of the 7th, and a wild pitch that will move Willerup over to second. One-0. Catches the zone. It evens a count at 1. Pitch is jam shot inside that sent foul. That gets Stevens down in the count 1-2. The A's are trying to win their 17th game of the season. Trying to draw even on the overall season total. They lead the series over the RoughRiders 3-1. Pitch misses from Stewart, and it evens a count at 2 for Stevens. Pitch is grounded to third, and they double off Willerup at second. A bang-bang play, and the A's get out of the bottom of the seventh. We're headed to the top of the eighth. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Valdez back on the mound for the RoughRiders. Isaiah Velasco will draw a first pitch ball. He's leading off. He doubled his last time up. Takes a pitch for a strike and evens the count at 1. One. Velasco fouls it off. It'll go out of play and over onto the football field behind us. Velasco sends that one out into left field, but it is pulled down for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Ryan Buckley. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. A double and a single along with a hit by pitch. So the A's are working their 4th trip through the batting order. Buckley fouls off the first pitch he sees. Buckley comes up empty on Valdez's offering. He's down in the count 0-2. He'll go down on strikes as he comes up empty again. That's 2 away for the A's here in the top of the 8th. Brings up Edwin Silverio, who is 0 for 3. Silverio, he grounded out the last time he was up. The A's, they have their first lead of the ball game after they scored 2 in the top of the 7th. Silverio takes a first pitch strike. Valdez is at 74 pitches now. He'll miss outside. So he'll even the count at 1. Approaching the 2-hour mark. So we're in the top of the 8th. The pitch. This is outside again, and Silverio's ahead in the count, 2-1. Count even as it's deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Silverio takes the called strike 3, and that will end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. RoughRiders are set to lead off with Matt Gahan as Cameron Stewart returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's. Pitch misses high to Gahan. Works as ahead in the count, 2-0 now. Gahan's ahead 3-0. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. He flew out the last time he was up. Pitch called strike. The A's would like to keep the lead off the base paths if they can here. Gahan makes contact. It's a high fly ball down the right field side, and it falls foul. A long and loud strike 2, and the count runs full. Wasn't foul by much. And it definitely would have been extra bases for Gahan. So I'll go back to work. The full count to Gahan and the payoff pitch coming from Stewart. Worked ahead in the count 3-0, and Stewart's come back, but he delivers high, and that will be the leadoff walk to put a runner aboard for the RoughRiders. Brings up Aaron Kidd, who is 0 for 3. He grounded out his last time up. Slavin will do the courtesy running for the RoughRiders. Kidd, he'll come up empty on his swing and is down in the count 0-1. 2 flyouts and a groundout has been his day at the plate. Pitch called strike on the inner edge. Quickly has Kidd down in the count 0-2. Kidd chops that one foul. Counter remain 0-2. Caden Stewart took over the mound in the last half inning for the Dodge City A's after they took the 4-3 lead, which they have right now. We're in the bottom of the 8th. This is the final league contest as Kidd will go down on strikes, and that is the first out of the inning. Brings up Marco Polizzi. He is 0 for 3. He went down on strikes his last time up. Error, a fielder's choice, and a strikeout has been his day. Takes a pitch inside, gets him to scoot back a little bit. Works ahead 1-0. More clouds starting to filter in overhead. Sky's getting a little bit darker. The pitch is a ball. The throw down to second. They had him, and they've got him. Isaiah Velasco throws out the advancing Slavin, and that is the second out of the inning. I believe Polizzi is ahead in the count 2-0. He is. Stewart misses high, and that makes it 3 balls and no strikes. 2 away for the RoughRiders here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch is called strike. Makes it 3-1. Lizzie comes up empty off of the Stewart offering. Count runs full, so we'll see the payoff pitch. Lizzie draws the walk. That puts a runner on with 2 away for Andrew LaPerle. He's at 1 for 2, singled the last time he was up. Stewart's thrown 26 pitches in relief for the A's. Misses high. Stewart struggled with the zone a little bit here on the bottom of the 8th. Couple of full counts have been worked. 1-0 pitch. He'll miss low and inside there. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike to LaPerle. The A's would like to get to the top of the 9th and get one last chance to get an insurance run or 2 on. They lead this game 4-3. Makes contact. It's headed out towards left field. Huff will pull it down, and that is the final out of the inning. We're headed to the top of the 9th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the ninth, Paxton Huff in the count at, I think he's in at 2-0. He'll take the pitch called strike. That evens the count at 2. Huffy's 0 for 2. He drew the walk the last time he was up. Takes a pitch outside, and the count runs full. Valdez, he's back on the mound for the RoughRiders. Pitch was called strike. Huff thought it was ball 4. So 1 away for the A's, and that brings up Kane Carlos. Carlos, he's 0 for 3. He hit into a fielder's choices last time up. Valdez, he's thrown 84 pitches in relief for the RoughRiders. First pitch to Carlos misses for ball number 1. Pitch called strike. Evens the count at 1 to Carlos. The A's definitely like to get an insurance run or two on the board here. We used to have a saying back in the day when the A's were part of the Jayhawk League, which dissolved and has been reincarnated with different teams. There used to be a saying, there is no safe lead in the Jayhawk. So we'll go back to work. The pitch, Carlos makes contact. It goes fair down the third base line. It is extra bases. Oh, Carlos puts on the brakes and will retreat back to first. So the A's, they have their runner aboard for Jacoby Radcliffe. Pitch called strike to Radcliffe. He's down in the count 0-1. So the A's with 1 on and 1 away. They say no, he did not go. So that evens the count at 1. Cliff takes a called strike, catches enough of the inner edge of the zone, and finds himself down in the count 1-2. The A's desperately trying to cling to a 1-run lead right now. Pitch is inside to Radcliffe. That evens the count at 2. A's trying to turn the lineup order back to the top of the order. The pitch, Radcliffe, a fly ball that will get caught by the right fielder Willerup, and that is out number 2. That brings up Edward Gregory Jr. back at the top of the order for the Dodge City A's. He drew the walk his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. So a single and a ground out, along with 2 walks, has been his day at the plate. First pitch called strike. Down on the count, 0-1 is Gregory Jr. Valdez looking in. He's got what he wants. Gregory Jr. makes contact. It's down out in center field. So the A's have runners on first and second. That'll bring up Blake Coleman. Coleman's due. He's 0 for 3. He hit into a sac fly out in center field his last time up. Coleman takes a pitch high for ball number 1. Pitch misses outside. Coleman's ahead in the count, 2-0. Coleman makes contact. It's a high fly ball on his high horse, going back to center field, and it's gone! A 3-run shot for Blake Coleman, and that very well could be the nail in the coffin for the RoughRiders. The A's lead it 7-3. A 3-run homer for Blake Coleman that left out through deepest part of the ballpark. The A's, they have a 4-run lead. Matt Perez takes the first pitch, ball. He's ahead of the count, 1-0. Perez sends it back up the middle, and the A's, they have another runner aboard. Perez, he was 2 for 4. He doubled the last time he was up. That's going to prompt a mound visit from the RoughRiders. Well, we said the A's, they wanted some insurance. They got it. They have a 4-run lead over the RoughRiders. They're going to make some fielding changes as well. We'll tell you about it all when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Isaiah Velasco's up. Andrew LaPerle took over the mound for the RoughRiders. Called strike, and that evens the count at 1. Take ball 2. So Cannon Frost moved from center to third. Marco Polizzi moves from left to center, and Aaron Kidd takes over in left field. Pitch is called strike, and it evens a count at 2 for Velasco. Velasco, he's 1 for 4. He flew out the last time he was up. He's been making contact. He doubled. And the count runs full. So we'll see the payoff pitch from LaPerle. It's Velasco. It's fair, just past the diving arm of Stevens. Velasco on at second. So an extra bases hit for Isaiah Velasco, and the A's have runners at second and third. That brings up Ryan Buckley. Buckley, he's 2 for 3. Went down on strikes. The A's, they've done all this with 2 away. Pitch was called strike to Buckley. A hit by pitch, double, single, and out on strikes. Down in the count, 0-2. Perley misses low and outside. He'll miss high and inside there. It evens the count at 2. The A's, they have some breathing room now. They've scored 3 in the top of the 9th. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and 3 so far in the 9th. They lead at 11-3. Buckley will go down on strikes, and that will end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The A's need 3 outs to claim victory. We'll be back after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Bottom of the 9th, and the A's need 3 outs to claim win number 17 on the season. Merrick Shannon leads off for the RoughRiders. He's 0 for 2. Drew a walk the last time he was up. Takes a first pitch ball. Caden Stewart back on the mound for the A's as he misses low. The A's, they have a little bit of breathing room now. A 4-run lead over the RoughRiders. 2-0 pitch misses low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Shannon. Takes an inside called strike. Shannon will come up empty on the offering, and so after he worked his way ahead in the count 3-0, a full count, the payoff pitch, called strike. That is the first out of the inning. So Shannon goes down looking, 1 away for the RoughRiders. That'll bring in Cannon Frost, the newly minted third baseman for the RoughRiders. Frost, he's at 1 for 4. He flew out the last time he was up. Stewart works quickly and delivers strike number 1. Stewart fires in again. It's grounded out into center field. So the RoughRiders, they have a runner aboard. Not time to panic yet, though. Brings up Brett Atkinson. Atkinson, he's at 2 for 4. Hit into a line drive the last time he was up. Hit that line drive right back at Edward Gregory Jr. 1 on and 1 away for the RoughRiders as Atkinson takes a first pitch strike. Stewart misses with that pitch and evens the count at 1. Pitch sent out into left field, but it falls foul. So Atkinson's down in the count 1-2. One-two delivery misses a little bit inside. And by a little bit, I mean he had to twist and get out of the way. It evens a count at 2. Stewart steadies. Comes in, and it's called strike 3. Atkinson thought it might have been up. It's 2 away for the RoughRiders. They're down to their final out of the inning. They've got to score at least 5 if they want this game, or at least 4 if they want the game to continue. Pitch called strike to Jake Willerup. He's 3 for 4, has singled the last 2 times he's been up. Willerup swings and misses, and he's quickly down in the count 0-2. Willerup, the RoughRiders are down to their final out of the ball game. The 0-2 delivery misses low. One and two the count. Stewart on the third base side of the rubber fires in. Misses. And it evens a count at 2. So it's deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Stewart fires in. It's hit out into left field, but foul. Count will remain 2-2. So Willerup, he fell down in the count 0-2, and then back-to-back balls. Has a count even after he fouls that one off. Blasco getting a ball thrown in to him, and a couple extra for the home plate umpire. So we'll go back to work. Count remains 2-2 to Willerup. Pitch swung on and missed. That does it. The A's are victorious as they win it 7-3. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with your post-game wrap-up. The A's win over the RoughRiders. We'll be back after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in as your A's. They improved to 17-17 overall. And the win gives them the 4-1 win in league play over the Colorado RoughRiders. They beat the RoughRiders today 7-3. The RoughRiders 1 run in the second, 2 in the third. That would be their scoring. 3 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. They stranded 9 runners. The A's, they scored 1 in the third, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, and 3 in the ninth. 7 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors, and 7 stranded for the Dodge City A's. Nolan Huff takes a win on the mound for your A's. Ryan Silva Valdez will draw the loss for the Colorado RoughRiders. It was a back-and-forth game early on as the RoughRiders, they scored first and would stay ahead. As the A's, they drew even in the third, but the RoughRiders answered back. They would lead at 3-1 through the first 5 innings. Let's take a look at the scoring summary for your Dodge City A's. They would get runners on, but not really get much of it until the third when Jacoby Radcliffe, King Carlos led off. He got on an error, but would be out on a fielder's choice, hit by Jacoby Radcliffe. He would come around and score on a flyout by Blake Coleman. That would get the A's on the board in the third. The A's would have a runner on in the fourth as that Ryan Buckley hits a double. Then in the fifth, the A's would go down 1-2-3. In the sixth, Isaiah Velasco hits a double. He comes around and scores on a single from Ryan Buckley. In the seventh, Paxton Huff leads off. He draws a walk. Kane Carlos hits into a fielder's choice. Both of them would come around and score as Huff, he would score during Blake Coleman's at bat as he flew out to center field. And Matt Perez would hit a double and score Kane Carlos. That would do it in the seventh. The A's would have a one-run lead at that point. They would lead at 4-3. The A's, they needed some insurance. They got it in the bottom of the ninth. Kane Carlos, he gets on a single, followed by an Edward Gregory single. And then Blake Coleman gives the A's the insurance that they need as he hits a 3-run bomb over center field, 372 feet here at Arapahoe High School. Matt Perez gets on after that, followed by an Isaiah Velasco double. The A's would strand those 2 runners, but that was all they needed as they draw the victory 7-3 over the Colorado RoughRiders. That'll wrap it up here as the A's win the series over the RoughRiders. They had already won the series before this, but they win the series for sure. They win it 4-1. They also hold a firm place in second place in RMBL play. So that'll wrap it up for this one. The A's victorious 7-3 over the RoughRiders. We're back in action tomorrow night, back on the road for league play at Liberal. That game set 7 p.m. first pitch at Brent Gould Field. That'll wrap it up for this one. I am Justin Hergert saying farewell and so long from Arapahoe High School. For the entire A's board and organization, we thank you for following along with your Dodge City A's. They're 17-17 overall, 13-9 in RMBL league play. That'll wrap it up for this one. You have been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.